Hey my scrappy friends, and welcome to my YouTube channel again today. I think today is day 12, but I could be wrong. I'm really starting to get all my days muddled up, but I'm pretty sure today's day 12. So I'm up to Christmas Eve, but if you remember correctly, the photos I shared yesterday, the next page was this one. Now I knew that I had a letter somewhere from Santa that explained why I had my kids' Santa letters, and I found it and realized that this letter actually came on the 21st, and so I'm going to move this a few days forward so it sits on the 21st. The letter from Santa reads, "Dear Jacob and Hunter, Pixie was very excited to bring me the letters you both wrote to me. Wow, both of you have come so far with your writing. Beautiful job. I have noted what each of you has asked for and will do what I can to help your Christmas wishes come true. Now, Hunter Jet, Pixie told me that you said that you didn't want me to keep your letters, so I have sent both of them back with Pixie so that Mummy can keep them in a safe place for you." And really, where's a safer place than this year's December Daily album? You have both done an amazing job of making good choices this month, and I am super proud of you. Jacob, keep up the awesome work. Hunter, though you have been mostly good, please try to listen a bit more and use your words. Only 4 more sleeps to go, so happy Pixie hunting and Merry Christmas. Check twice and signed by Santa. So that's going to go in as well. I'll quickly show you. Now, there is 2.5 years between my boys, but their writing is quite similar. But that's okay. So this one's from Jacob. I love it. I love, love, love it. So cute. That's from Jacob. This one is from Hunter. Oh, so he filled in part of it. I wrote, "I have been very good this year and some things I would love for Christmas this year are," and he wrote 2 big Star Wars Lego sets and Beyblades. Love, Hunter Jet. It's my little, he was my little kinder kid, he's now my little pre-primary kid, but bless his little cotton socks. So they're going to go straight in there. That is also going to go in there. I like that they look like they've just been shoved in, which they have. I have got this, and I think I will put a 21 somewhere on here. I might just staple that on so it looks like it's kind of been paperclip maybe. I don't know, but that's where I'm at. Day 24. So I've got this I'm going to use as like the intro to Christmas Eve, and this is one of the Simple Stories printables. Oh, what fun. Love it. So our first story will be about Pixie. Second story, so it's about the pajamas that they got, which came from Pixie in the box. And I mean, look at their cheeky faces. So cute. I think I may make this a shaker pocket, not sure. So before I get started, I will heat up my fuse tool. I just wanted to document here how much our Christmases have changed over the course of the years. So obviously when he was a newborn, well, he wasn't a newborn at Christmas, he was nearly 1, but his first Christmas, I did all of it. We now are at the point where the boys help me make the cookies. This last year he wanted to pour the milk, so that's the story that I wanted to tell. And then finally, we had a big long conversation about maybe we can get a photo of Santa when he's here. And the boys came up with theories about how it could work, because we told them that Santa won't come if not everyone's asleep. And lo and behold, we woke up the next morning and someone had snapped a photo of Santa by our Christmas tree. The boys came up with the theory that it was Pixie. It was very, very cute. So I had to get that story in as well. So I'm going to pop you on fast forward. I hope you enjoy. And if you have any questions, make sure you leave them below. So I am back and I'm doing my voiceover now. It is late on Sunday night. I am tired. I am trying to get things done. And first of all, I'm going to apologise. The photos of these pages in my albums will not be on the video. They will be in the blog post, but I'm not going to get to them till tomorrow morning, probably after my blog post goes live. I will have to edit it. So, as I mentioned, I had decided to work on this Letters to Santa page. Well, it's not a page. Well, it is a page. It's like an envelope pocket thing, which is really cool. I really love it. Came in the kit. And like I mentioned, I've got my kids' Santa letters in there and a letter from Santa And I just wanted to jazz it up a little bit. Now I did want to make this look like there was stuff just kind of tucked in, which I think I end up achieving. I've punched 2 circles from a piece of that it's like green pattern paper that I've been using throughout the album, and I really wanted to use that cork 21, which took me a little while to find, but I found it. And I'm going to ink up the edges of all the papers with my gold ink and just a makeup sponge, a TP makeup sponge. I'm going to adhere all this down. So if you follow my Facebook page, you would have seen that I had shared that today's video, the real time was over an hour and a half. It was actually more like an hour and 45 minutes. So there were a few bits and pieces that I completely cut out because it was just dead time. But a lot of it was me working or looking for stuff as well. So I did take that as a hint that I need to tidy my desk up. So I have done that this afternoon after I finish recording this. Just using some glue to stick all those bits down. I found a little green paper clip thingy to attach that letters to Santa card, and I'm going to use some of these. I love these little black tear apart tiny phrase things with gold foil writing. Sorry about that. I'm not sure. My computer seems to be doing something a bit strange, so I've paused the video and my voiceover, and hopefully I've fixed the issue. So I'm just attaching all my bits and pieces. I did have to pull up that bottom corner to use my tiny attacher to attach that little black phrase down the bottom. And then I decided that I wanted a bit more of that green up the top. I've just cut another scrap, and I'm just going to stick that to the back of just inside the pocket there. And I've inked the edges up with that gold ink as well. And I'm going to call that done. I'm really happy with how this page turned out in the end. I really like it. Here's a bit of a close-up. I'm going to pop that one aside. So on to Christmas Eve. So you will notice from here on out that I have got all the numbers. I've got 3 different sets of numbers that I've got this year. That makes total sense. And I have put them into little Ziploc bags so that they're really easy for me to find the correct number when I need a number. I decided to use this big acetate 24, and I had a coffee appear. My wonderful husband bought me a coffee. He could see that I had boiled the kettle and had not made a coffee, which is pretty standard. I wanted to do something to make that black pop, but break it up, but make it fun. And I've pulled out one of my Chimel Christmas stamp sets, and again I'm doing the Christmas on an arc and the Eve in the middle because it's 24th of December, and I really love how that looks. I decided too that I was going to add a little bit more stamping just to continue it around the page, and so I'm using the 2 and the 4 to stamp 24 a couple of times. I really like how that just continues the gold around the page. I decided I was going to add a little bit more bling. I've got some Studio Calico gold sequins here. I'm going to add 3 of those. And then I'm going to add 3 of these light blue ones. Just putting a little dab of glue down, and then my sequin. Then I am going to put 1 more sequin, and I'm going to grab one of these red ones from this pink and red Studio Calico set. And that is that page done. Really happy with that one as well. So the next one is my 2x8 pocket and my 4x4 photos. I started by grabbing some pattern paper that I've got in my stash for my December daily stuff, I'm going to cut 2 of them down to 4x4. I'm going to go with the red with all the numbers and the white with the little black hearts on it. Both of those are Stampin' Up papers. Just playing with papers and deciding which one I want where. I honestly thought that I would go the other way when I cut these, but clearly I didn't. I'm going to start by working on my shaker pocket, which gives me grief, lots of grief. But I work around it in the end, and I'm relatively happy with it. My fuse tool did melt more of the pocket than it was meant to. However, I think we're good. I don't think I'm going to have any escaping sequins. So first I put that big red acrylic star in that also came in the Ali Edwards kit. Some red sequins, some blue sequins, and I was like at this point, maybe I shouldn't have put those blue ones in. We'll add some more, see how I go. I've got a mix of gold stars and then some white stars, and I decided I wanted some more gold stars. And I have super zipped through that because it's not very exciting watching me put sequins into the pocket. So I don't know if you're going to be able to see it very well here, but I think I was going too slow and the page protector I think buckled up a little bit. So a bit next to the bit that I was fusing got touched by the fuse tool, so it melted a bit. In hindsight, I should have done it this way the whole time, but I did think about it before I started, and I didn't want to have the bumpy surface of the sequins underneath the ruler, so it kind of made sense the way that I did it, but that's okay. I decide that I want to add these reindeer. They are gorgeous. I don't know where they came from. I cannot remember. So I start with my Scotch tacky glue, move my sequins around so it's not bumpy underneath, flip it over, stick one on the other side, and then it all falls apart. And I saved you from watching that because I put it on and took it off and moved it, and it moved, and I got frustrated. And okay, so we'll start fresh. I took my photos out so that I could work on them and my papers, and I'm going to stick my reindeers back to back, and I very carefully moved that off to the side and didn't touch it again. So the first story, as I mentioned, for the 24th is Pixie, our scout elf. I've got my album in front of me. You will see that I start by stamping the 24. This is from one of the Chamel stamp sets, and I'm using my gold ink. I am addicted to that thing right now. So I'm on a bit of a gold ink kick. And I'm just going to stamp the 24 at the top. I am glad, in hindsight, that I decided to go with stamping with the gold ink because it made it really easy to fix up my mistake. So I'm going to super speed through this as well. I start my journaling. My pen gave me grief and it stopped working and wasn't fluid and was driving me mental. So I found a pen that's going to work better, and you'll see me test that in just a second. It is my Foos, I can't remember, ball pen. I got it from Scrap and Clearly. I'm just going to test it there. Yay, it works. So my journaling says, Pixie's last day with us for this year, and as always we were spoiled. A letter from Santa saying we could include Pixie in everything for the day, new PJs for all of us, a new book, Santa I Can Explain, and a new DVD, The Smurfs Christmas Carol. We love having Pixie around, and the 24th is always somewhat bittersweet. So bittersweet because the boys love having her around. They love looking for her every day. They love that they get to cuddle her on the 24th, but it's always sad for them to say goodbye. But they realise that when they say goodbye, Santa's coming the next day. So that's that first page done. So this one is my adorable boys. They're devils. They really are. I was going to spell out, I think, my PJs with those gold stickers, but I didn't have the right letters. So I thought, I wonder if I have love this. And I do. I have all the letters for love this. I'm going to stick those along the side of my photo, and I wish I could stick alphabets this quickly in real life. Don't we all? Wouldn't that be amazing? I'm going to cut a little bit of this grid journaling card. And I'm very excited to share. I got another one of these rubber charms used. This one says magic. And I really like the way that those pieces just kind of nestle together beautifully. Do my journaling, which reads, new Christmas PJs all around. Minions for Jacob and I, Batman for Hunter, and Star Wars Darth Vader. Emotions, laugh out loud for Alan. As we all know, Darth Vader looks the same all the time. And it was just very apt for my husband. He had a giggle when he opened them. So then that's that page done. On to the next one. I decided that I was going to use one of the cards I had put aside for possibly using on Christmas Day, which makes making that decision a bit easier. And I'm going to use one of the 3x4 cards. So I used the Bring on the Merry down the bottom, and I used this Love card at the top. I'm just flicking through because a couple of cards caught my eye for the next page. So I'm going to slip that one in, pull out my post-it note, and my journaling on this one reads love. And so the top of the card says love, obviously, and then so totally loving these things right now. So I started with his maturity and independence, his belief, seriously, and the way each year our traditions stay the same yet change. This year he insisted he wanted to feel Santa's cup himself, especially since he knew that the real Santa was coming. So that's that page done. Moving on to the next one. Now, this kind of took me by surprise. I wasn't intending to do this, but I really like how it looks. Earlier on, I looked everywhere for something that said 'twas the night before Christmas. The only thing I managed to find in all of my Christmas stash, and I do not have a big Christmas stash, was this grey diamond from Ali Edwards, and it says 'twas the night before Christmas. Stapled that in, and then I've gone, hey, wonder if I can do like a design right down that side. On that side of the photo, you can see clear enough that there's a little fridge there, and it annoys me. So I thought, hey, I can cover it up. So I'm using a few of these little diamond shapes, and I'm just filling in the gaps. I really like how it looks. The grey one at the top reads 'twas the night before Christmas. The red to the left below that says Holly Jolly. The green to the right and below that says Twinkle Twinkle, and then the blue in between the grey and the green says Ho Ho Ho. And I've just used offcuts to fill in those other little gaps. This one gives me a little bit of trouble because my fingers get in the way, and then, no, not this one. The last little one that I put down there gives me a little bit of grief because my fingers get in the way, and then my staple comes out, but I fix it, and it works perfectly fine. But you get to watch me muck around for a minute, trying to get my fingers in the right way so that I don't get them stapled. Yay! And then snip, and it's now holding on by one staple. So I use a bit of glue, manipulate it a bit, smush the staple back into the hole it made, and voila! I really like how that one looks. So I'm going to push everything out of the way. Rubbing out my journaling lines from the other side. Popping that in there. So I decided to move that to the right hand side because of that grey at the top of the photo. Flipped through these cards and decided that I like this one the best. It says the best parts. And it reads, somehow I ended up with this photo on my phone. The boys said they wanted one, and perhaps Pixie was listening, was their theory, since Santa doesn't come if anyone's awake. Just flipping through those pages as they are in my album and coming up to some close-ups. I hope you're enjoying this series. Thank you ever so much if you've hung around to the end. I know this is a longer video. I've also included the photos, well, over on the blog there will be photos of the advent calendar page that I've included. So thanks very much for stopping by. Tomorrow will be the big day, Christmas Day, and hopefully that will get me on the home stretch. Thanks ever so much for stopping by. Welcome to all my new subbies, and thank you to all of my continued support. I will see you tomorrow. Bye.